Alright, it would probably help if I turn the camera on here. You said you used to... Why's my camera color so weird? You used to, but now you use CapCut. It's basically the same but free. Yeah, I think I tried CapCut for a while. And then I kind of got lazy, and I wanted some of the features that... Just some of the quality of life from Filmora. So... Hey, thanks for the hearts, people. Appreciate the support. Has VIP, but it's not needed. I found Wondershare too pricey for making a video here and there. Yeah. Yeah, I pick my poison. Like, I have, like, GIMP, for example, is free. I don't do Photoshop, but I pay for Filmora because I'd rather use that as a paid product. What else do I pay for? I do Canva for like thumbnail stuff. Really could get away with just using GIMP or something, but again, it's kind of me being a little bit lazy. The gdevelop mobile app. Yeah, I've tried the gdevelop mobile app. I mean, and I have a pretty big phone, right? But I'd rather be at my battle station where I have my monitors, but definitely on the fly. It's nice to have the mobile app and make changes on the fly. Nice, yeah, if you're doing a video a week, it's worth it. If you're doing fewer than that, you can probably get away with something a little less robust. Let's see here. Well, how's your day been, man? Boom, there we go. We're gonna do some flowscape tonight. A little bit of map making. And look at the hearts flying. Yeah, I completely agree. Moving the actions and conditions is a pain. Yeah, working on the game art. I saw that in the Discord. Solid progress. For sure. Beatbox Kid, VIP's in the house. Beatbox Kid, how's your Friday night going? Alright, we are going to... I think I have to actually start a new scene before I can actually load a saved file here, but... So we're gonna click on Escape Reality. Beatbox Kid, you play any more Fortnite? Or do any more beatboxing? Hey, happy Friday. How you doing tonight? Not sure how to pronounce your handle. 21. Fortnite kid in the chat. Are you sure you quit? Once a Fortnite, always a Fortnite. Alright, here we go. It's loading up. I guess I could change my text thing here. Alright. Probably not going to use this at all, but let's... We're going to make some more lava levels. So let's clear the plants. Oh, gotcha. You quit beatboxing? You left the beatboxing back in your former days, huh? Alright, let's get some lava. This level has snow. I do need more snow levels, but tonight I think I'm gonna do like 5 of each sort of like terrain or biome for now, for the little demo. No, I did not change the behaviors over to the backers yet. I just haven't been... Honestly, I haven't sat down today to work on it. But, yeah, that'll be for later. And the only reason I'm not doing it right now is I'm actually a little bit cooked. Like, in terms of just being tired. Not, like, stoned or anything. But, it's been a long work day. And then, we watched 2 Sonics tonight because we're getting ready to watch the 3rd tomorrow. So yeah, between all that, you know. I actually put some insulation in our attic as well. We're getting a cold front tonight. So we have 1 bedroom in the house. It's north facing and it has 3 walls that touch the exterior. And it's the coldest room, so I put 10 inches of insulation in the attic over that area, and I hope it helps. Alright, let's just do flat for starters. Let's go to this toggle here. Let's say, so we picked 2 different types of ground. We're gonna do... Oh, I see. It's riverbed, so it's too low. So we pick something a little more like this. So there's water at the moment. We can change that to lava. That's how some people pronounce their lava. They call it lava. Yeah, family's doing well. Doing pretty well. Rolling with the punches. Do you live near family? Code? Let's take the snow height down. We don't need snow here. That would be kind of weird. And then again, let's see here. We've got 2 different types of ground. So kind of unfortunately, no, I won't be taking part in the game jam, and I love game jams. That's really where I've spent the majority of my game development experience, and it's where I got the seed idea for this game. But I'm just buckling down until I get this thing commercially released. I've forbidden myself to do jams. So as a very part-time game dev, I figured that was just a pill I had to take. So as soon as I'm done, I'll probably celebrate by punishing myself with some game jams. But what about you? Are you doing the jam? Didn't even check the Discord to see if you responded there. You said you might do. It depends if you get any ideas. If you get any ideas with the theme. Probably too many ideas. Does sound like a lot of fun. Teaser trailer reveal. From the 20th to the 26th. Oops. Close that. Oh, read more. There we go. I wonder what the theme is. Do we have any sort of a theme? Because sometimes the jams have a theme, and then there's a constraint, that like a secret constraint, but the theme is already revealed. So is this the theme right here? Join us live for the keynote at theme reveal. Oh, I see. January 19th. It's going to be cool to follow. And I've used this little wizard in one of my thumbnails already. This guy right here. If I pull up my Canva and I scroll down past all my goofy ones, I have him right here. Look at that. They must have used Canva to get that thing. Yeah, hopefully your eyes let you do it. Yep, free assets for the win. Alrighty, let's get to business here. So we're gonna do terrain 1 as that. And I might not mix and match right now. Since it's lava, it's going to be all pretty scorched. So I'm probably going with like whatever the darkest material is here. The tiling. I've also been told the levels feel a little too close up, which is probably true. So I might experiment with making it feel a little further back. So basically scaling things down so that they appear further away. The one thing that I struggle with on using this program to make my levels is I don't think I can like lock in, say, a 30 or 45 degree angle, because I want my game to be isometric but not necessarily perspective. This does have perspective in the camera, which isn't great for me, but I like everything else about building the maps with it. And I could bring in Blender assets if I wanted to. So later I might. You started on your audio only game, and it's hard trying to get audio to play from certain directions. Yeah, so are you... When you say get it to play from certain directions, do you mean like in the stereo, like left and right kind of directions? All right, so I'm picking a starting angle, and then I'll lock it in, and then after I lock it in, I can move around again and then snap back to reality. No, snap back to the original position. So what I could do is toggle the liquid on and off, whether I want it to be water or lava or whatever, or it can just be a dry bed. I want liquid, I want lava. I think I'm going to do dark stone for all the stone, but I'm going to take the sculpt and increase the brush size and lower everything into the lava. All of it down into the lava. And then we'll pull up what we want for the actual map. I need to look at the lens here, so it should be camera distance. Screenshot resolution. I think the resolution, set that to medium maybe. Text resolution medium. Yeah, left, right, front, back, all directions. Yeah, I've never really experimented with. So are you, I guess let me ask, are you doing it in gdevelop? And what I'm going to do with the camera here is move way far out and then use a long lens to kind of flatten the image a little bit. And then I'm going to take the tiling. Let me see how do I hide the UI? Space. Okay. Something like that. And then take the tiling. Why is it not changing? Oh. Can we not change the tiling of the lava part? That's kind of odd. Riverbed. Okay, let's raise some land. That was weird. All right, sink that back down. I'm struggling. It's like slightly bugging out. It's not showing me the radius all the time. So let's say we want the end goal like right here on this plot of land. Lava. Yeah, just feeling a little bit wiped out today, so I'm just going to do some map making instead of logic. I think I'm going to do like 5 of each biome or terrain for the little playtest. So you're doing the game in gdevelop. It's a zombie story-based game with combat, kind of like a choose your own adventure, but might change it to a dungeon crawler. Are you... So is the input going to be also like voice, or will they still, would the player still click on stuff? So I was thinking I was going to start with lava and then raise the path, but I think what I'll do instead is let's flatten this out a little bit. What I think I'll do instead is build the stone path and then cut out the enemy's lava path. And I want to look at the tiling here. I want to look slightly further away than it's been. I know you'll start to see repeats, and that's going to be fine, but I care more about the fun, so I don't want it to feel like it's too in your face. Just make it a little uneven here. Input through D-pad and buttons on controller. Travis says he's scared. Didn't think you'd get as far as you have. Yet you're still just getting started. Yeah, man, you're off to a good start. I saw some of the updates you posted. It's really crazy. I was not that far on my first game. I can tell you that right now. Like, you've got these continents with the elevation and biome maps. Is this elevation as well, or is it biome? Like purely biome? I know you have them charted out here by color. Gotcha, biome. Nice. Going to begin designing the chunk system that loads and unloads the data as needed. Very cool. I'm not sure what the deal is with the notifications not going out. I mean, I didn't drop an actual notification in Discord, which I guess would help, but I'm not sure what the deal is with YouTube. Not sure. Because I don't get them for people I follow. Most of the time. Alright, we're gonna do something. We can change the darkness here a little bit. And then let's carve this out. So if we do like I'm not going to leave a building here, but let's just put a little building on here for reference. So just drop one on here and then I'll scale it down. So let's say this, and then oh, that's a wall. That won't do. That's a bad reference. So I'm thinking what I'd like to do in terms of the game scale is change it a little bit. And I'm trying to get a feel for that right here. So I think currently the game towers are something like this in size. If they went slightly smaller, we could do a lot more with the maps. All things are eventually forgotten, keeping save files smaller? Code, does the Crensada talk like someone who's never built a game? I think he secretly has a backlog of games that he's holding out on us. He's got to. All right, let's go back to sculpt here, and so we could do like a 1, 2, something like sink it right here. Actually, let's go even wider. Why is this all so high? Let's sink it all down a little bit. That's a little bit better. I can raise this back up now. So I'm going to lock the camera here, then I should be able to move and then snap back. So let's go top down. A little more top down. Yeah, he's a AAA dev. Yeah, we've definitely got some chops. I mean, we can tell. But really, that's what it comes down to as a dev. It's not necessarily having built whatever it is you're working on exactly before. It's like the problem solving, the way that you approach a challenge, and you definitely have that. Yeah, he's thinking, man. Definitely, it's definitely outside of the box. All right, let's go down. My tower is technically floating, even though it's just a reference point. I need to change a setting here. We need camera speed to be a little bit faster. Camera rotation. There we go. Sorry if this gives anyone motion sickness. It's admittedly not the easiest camera control. And this tower needs to go downward. Something like this, actually. And I think 3 pads coming in on this one. Yeah, Eric is insane. He's definitely one of those guys who's like an inspiration to us all. Yep, I've seen some of Heartbound. Just painting in the lava. Yeah, I've had a lot of people give me that. I don't know if you mean he literally told you or not. Did he, are you talking literal? And yeah, and you're quite welcome, man. Honestly, I thrive in a positive community, which is why I was happy to have you and yeah, have you, Few, and Proud join my Discord, because I like a strong, positive group, you know? Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, not literally. And that's what I was going to say is I've had several who have like spoken to me in that way, and I completely get it. Because let's face it, we all have days or weeks or months that we just don't feel like we can or don't feel like we want to, but deep down we know we should. we yearn for something, and for us weirdos, it's creating games. Because we had to do something really difficult. Let's see. This could even be a 4-way. I don't think we actually even have a 3-way in my game yet. Let alone a 4-way. Really, there could be quite a lot more lava out here. Less land would make it more challenging. Need to shift the camera slightly. There we go. Let's lock that in. Does the software have toxic slime river effect? I seriously doubt it. It looks like the defaults are just water, ice, and lava. So I think there are ways that you can bring in outside resources into the game, but I mean, I guess I could create like a weird green layer and bring it in. Like I just haven't done it yet, so that'll be an experiment to test out. And it's pretty cool because you can actually record video here. I just don't think it would render very well if I took some sort of a 1920 by 1080 or whatever it is, 1080 by 1920. And I'm not sure if gdevelop would render that very well, but like for water, I technically could do that. Not that I have a water enemy at the moment, but I could. All right, so as far as this level design goes, I'm basically going to say good enough so that I can keep moving on. But I do want to check a couple things, which are a couple of my guidelines, which are make sure that anywhere you can place a tower looks like you can place a tower, and anywhere I don't want them to be able to place a tower can clearly not have a tower on it. So this bottom left area looks problematic because it's maybe half the size of a tower, not quite sure. So I could either put some debris on it or I could sink it down into the lava. So let's see what looks better. Yeah, man, shoot for the stars. Like, you literally have nothing to lose. Like, you're not sinking... this isn't real estate. It's just time. But if you enjoy what you're doing, then it's not time wasted. In code, I get it too, having a lot of ideas, and especially that's why I had to pull back from the game jams, because it's like I'll be making a tower defense one day, then I'll be making like an arcade game or whatever it is, and then I see a new game come out that inspires me and I want to make that, but then I end up with all these things that I don't see to the end. But I definitely have a lot of ideas, and the sporadic part of me wants to just jump from game to game. But it seems like you've also finished a few more games that are rather playable. Like, a lot of people will leave games in sort of a graveyard. It seems like you have games that are beyond just a graveyard. And yeah, Travis, it does sound like it'll take years. I would say at least 2. Yep, code. That's exactly right, and that is in the game. So if I pull up gdevelop right now, oh, it's already open. I left it open. If I pull it up, I have player barriers, and these were set up for some other level, but these are where you cannot place the tower, and it changes depending on the level. And so if the I have it set to not placeable if it's in collision with these things. And if it is in collision, it's red. If it's good to go, it's green when you're building. So yeah, I mean, you called it. Let's get some rocks. Rocks. So I'm going to scale these down as well. That is not scaled down. Scale those down up at the top here. So if I were to start dropping those out, why am I getting so much snow? Let's get rid of the snow. There we go. We'll get some rocks. I'm just going to place some down here on the bottom left. Maybe on this little strip here as well. Rocks mean you're not building a tower there. A little bit maybe out here. Yeah, you're thinking far more than 2. It's quite possible. I mean, it sounds like the scale of the game is going to be huge, but it also doesn't sound like it's going to be huge in like a like an empty way. If you remember No Man's Sky. When it first launched, it was a big A universe, but it felt very empty and barren because I'm not sure how best to describe it, but I'm sure you know what I mean. It was like not very custom. It felt very auto-generated, and I think they made a lot of improvements. Exactly, mile wide and an inch deep. But it doesn't sound like that's part of your process. Okay, I think that's really about it. I could throw more rocks out here. It doesn't matter that much. Just sprinkle a few out here. The funny thing is these will land on the lava, so I need to be careful about the placement. And there is physics here, so they'll bounce and roll off into the lava. There's a little tiny one down here. I'm going to see if I can delete that. Got it. All right. I think that will. I think I'm gonna go with this. Maybe. So it's 4 ways, which is all automatically going to make this a much more challenging level. So maybe the fact that there's still a lot of land that's buildable is okay. I might make this a little more square just to help the game feel, the tower placement feel more obvious. So let's take the cutter here. I'm going to shrink it way down. Kind of a laser cutter at this point. And slightly more squarish. It's not the highest quality of like fake rock, but I find when I shrink this down to almost a laser thinness, like instead of a big A circle like that, it's just a point. It does give it sort of a roughness, a sharpness. Okay, and then let's make this bigger, and then I think I'm even gonna shrink this down just a little. Ooh, that's kind of nice. I like that. Yeah, you go away for one stream and the game's changed entirely. No, it hasn't changed. I'm just building a new level. All right. I think we're good here. I'm going to let's see what the sun is looking like here. Sun direction. I want as little overhead light as possible here, which I think is this setting. I also need to take shadows and turn them off. Don't actually slap yourself, man. I was trying to confuse you when you came in late. So let's get rid of shadows as much as possible. Shadow distance. Those are not wanted. There we go. Make it kind of flat. And we'll do effects in the game. It's only a 2D game, so we're not doing directional shadows. Then let's go back to the camera settings here. We can change the temperature a little bit, but I think I'll keep it neutral, and then we can change temperature and gdevelop. Intensity. Don't want much intensity here. Ooh, lowering the sun makes it look pretty eerie. This map reminds you of Total Annihilation. Oh yeah, I could see that. You know what I was looking at the other day? It was this.
Today I'm using Upwork to hire WordPress developer.
After this ad goes away. Because when I was putting that book into my game, someone mentioned Myst, and then I was thinking about Myst a lot. And they did a bunch of like updates to the game. So 1993 to 2021 here. Which honestly, the book hasn't changed much. Yeah, Myst is dope. It's creepy how much ad providers know about what we've been interacting with. I don't know how you got Switch ads. You beat it without a walkthrough. Nice. I haven't tried, but that sounds challenging. Blaze, you're gonna have to work on your Chinese. I don't know whether it's Mandarin or Cantonese, but you better sharpen up on that. Never know when you're gonna need it. Alright, I think I'm happy with this. At least for now. I can always come back to it. So I'm going to call it good enough. Put a stamp on it. Let's go to... I want to save. Let's get rid of that. Okay, right here. Save. Let's pick a slot. And you can see I have some of my old ones up here too. Let's go ahead and do one more here. We'll just change a few things. It'll need to be another lava level. So this one's kind of an X shape. Maybe this other one can be... I don't know, from like enemies come from the top and from the left or something. Code, are you asking someone in particular? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna use the eraser here. You have the room. Idle animations are fun. Even the Diablo 2 cursor has an idle animation. The hand will go from a pointer to just an open gauntlet. Yeah, or getting angry at you for being AFK. Even my own tune is mad at me. All right, let's see here. Let's move the river a little bit. We're gonna try kind of a more simple from the left. Really, we could do one that's kind of weird, like maybe like really wide open. So what if we like did this? Pretty much wide open. That's probably different enough for starters. And then you want to try theme shifting at a button press, like good to evil assets. That'd be cool. Oh, yeah, what's something else? It's a good question. I mean, technically, some of the stuff I'm putting into my game, I want to reflect game mechanics, such as like a good loot system. But I'm not sure if a system is really a mechanic, but I think that's definitely I think a good loot system is highly underrated and rare. But of course, that's all dependent on the context of the game. So again, that's very large scale. Maybe I'll do like a More like an island, a lava island map here. That'd be pretty different and terrifying. Yeah, let's just get rid of all this up here. Get rid of that. One island in the center, then spin the spawner around it to get random spawns. Total chaos. That sounds fun. Maybe like the spawner changing locations on certain maps could be a feature. Like a customizable feature in my risk-reward system. I've been trying to think about risk-rewards, specifically risks. That would be fun. So, for example, level can spawn bosses might be one of them, which would be like maybe more interesting than just monsters have higher armor. Total Annihilation had the coolest building system for an RTS you've ever seen. The game called it nanolathing. Not sure how to pronounce that. That's cool. Good night, Blaze. You have a good night, bud. Have a good weekend. Thanks for hopping on. The builders spray nanobots on a surface and a new unit is created and built at the molecular scale. Nice. I feel like I need to check that out. I still have it pulled up. I'll check it out. Smoothing that out a little bit. The new game art is awesome. If you're talking about my game art, appreciate it, and I completely agree. I didn't make it, so I can say I agree. It's completely awesome. I was super pleased with it. That's the old one. Yeah, so obviously I took a couple of verticals from the landscape image, but man, I think she kind of nailed some of the feel of the game. Obviously, it's more conceptual than like literally what the game looks like because it's akin to cover art, but yeah, you can see the desperation. You know, these towers are getting demolished. Not sure what's going on, but it's not good. Dagmara Gaska. If that's how it's pronounced. Polish. Go down. I'm not very good at this. Okay, now come up. Is there like a reset button for this area? I guess not. I have specific spots that are like just peaking way more than the others. All right, let me hold this control button. We'll level it out. Go down. That stupid spike. It looks alright, except that if I place towers on it, it's gonna not have the correct Z order. Go down. There it goes. The music of that game was some early work from, Jeremy Soule. Yeah, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. Definitely good quality then. No, I don't have that type of level. I could do that next. It's not a bad idea. I'm gonna need a million level ideas before long. Let's see, what do we think? Is this too hard? Is this too easy? Are the islands a little too big if I'm trying to take this kind of a challenge? Or make this kind of a challenge? Could maybe cut into one of them. Yeah, it does depend on what I throw at them. Probably everything. I think I'm going to leave it just like this for now. And let me see. Maybe some decorative rocks out there. Let's scale it up. Maybe it's like a boulder or something way out in the lava. Oops, not like that. The enemies will move on the lava, but you can only build on the rocks. Yep, that's correct. So the lava is the path or potential path. And in this particular map, the target, the base, is here in the middle. I've played levels like that. Like, for example, I have a game on my phone right now called Infinito 2, and there are some maps that are just completely wide open, and you get to build towers which are also obstacles to enemies, as long as you don't cut off their path. And so yeah, it does what you're describing, and that's pretty fun. Yep, the floor is lava, at least for this map. I'm thinking this is going to be more of like a higher difficulty map. So I want tower placement on this one to be relatively minimal. And number of paths the enemies can take relatively higher. So I think I might just start with what I've got right here, because there's a pretty wide path here. Oops, not that. Not that. Need the sculpting tool. Yeah, you can slow the enemy. Right here on the bottom, it's a little bit ambiguous, so I'm going to shave that off so that the player knows they cannot place a tower there. Because my sort of grid is just vertical squares, not like a diagonal grid. Okay, and then as far as this thing goes, something like that. You'd love to see a level in the sky or on a beach. That'd be cool. I could do a beach here as well. I think I'm done enough on this one. I'll come back and fine tune if I want to later. Let me just save it. And then let's try. Yeah, we could definitely make that a gimmick of the level. Probably spawns a lot of enemy types that are heavily fire resistant. Maybe spaced out in a way that the AoE of the fire is minimized. Let's see what we can do. And I don't currently have anything in gdevelop that looks like moving water. I do think it'd be cool if I used this for video, because I could record video. I just don't think that gdevelop will render it very well to have the water shader. It would technically just be a giant sprite animating. Let's get the sculptor. I'm gonna have to find out how it would handle the FPS. I mean, we could maybe give it a shot. I just don't want to test it in my current game because I feel like it adds junk that's hard to get out of the back end system. But I might have to test that offline. Put some video in there. All right, so I'm gonna raise. No, erase. All right. All right, I locked the camera there, so now let's raise this area into dry land. using sprites to show a layer like a CCTV camera doesn't tank FPS. You had 6 monitors in your scene and it was okay. Well, that's good to know at least. Yeah, I'll definitely be playing around with that soon. It's kind of like been on my to-do list to test and just never have. Spiral land towards the center, perhaps. Probably too cliche. I mean, yeah, we could definitely try that. I mean, in theory, I'm gonna have like over 100 levels, so I'm gonna run out of ideas eventually. Might as well try them all. And then, of course, there's deciding, on a beach level, are enemies walking on water, or are they walking on land? I don't think I currently have water-themed enemies, but it doesn't mean I can't. I have a water-themed tower. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we could probably do kind of like with the lava, the enemies could walk on the water. So we could design it around that. So let's do... This little post will be our goal, I guess. Oops. Don't want to bury it under the UI, so I'll put it somewhere right about here, I guess. It would be pretty cool if they could go under the water and not get targeted. I feel like if gdevelop had better shader support, that would be easier to do. Because then I could do something like this in gdevelop, but I'm not aware of a good effect like that. I could add like more like a mist sprite animation that could serve as sort of a cover. But I do like the idea. I mean, there's probably a lot of ways to implement that. Because currently I've got enemies who have shielding, enemies who have... They're resistant to like being frozen or whatever. But not... I don't think any of them can just totally not be targeted. Yet. Okay, so if the enemies are walking on water... Let's flatten that out a little bit. Bring in some water. This is all a little bit high as well. That's why you stick to pixel games, as it's more supported. Can't wait for more updates. Yeah, definitely 2D pixel games is kind of like gdevelop's sweet spot. I mean, its built-in editor is a pixel art editor, for sure. They've come a long way, obviously, but you can tell that that's where their roots are. And that's something, it's like you got to pick your engine, which is kind of like picking your poison. Like Travis has been saying, it's like you could go with something like Unreal Engine, which just does almost everything, but it's kind of the Ferrari to the Honda Civic that you really need. It's so much overhead, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. A sunken artifact in the ocean would look awesome. Yeah, it would. And I'm pretty sure they have some here. What kind of artifact are we looking for, Travis? It was your idea. Scale down a shrunken ship. Scale down a sunken ship, if I can say that right. You got spine. Does gdevelop support spine animations? I seriously doubt it. Although I don't want to say that live on stream. I don't think it does, though. Gdevelop spine support. Oh, maybe. It looks like it might be a community. Is this a it's a feature? Pirate ships. Yeah, let's do a pirate ship. If it does, you'll keep that in mind because you'll be making a bunch of assets in it soon. Sweet. Yeah, I'll look into that. All right, let's pick a ship. One that would look good sunken. Maybe that one's kind of a black pearly. Maybe a small one? It seems like this body of water wouldn't be that huge. I mean, we can still shrink it down, but I think just realistically, you might not have something so huge so close to the shore. In all my marine years, let me tell you. Shrink. I don't know. I can't. Maybe bigger. Let's maybe do a bigger one. Could just be a destroyed tower or base from old times. Yeah, it could be. And it would give scale to the towers. I mean, it could literally be half sunken in the sand even. Yeah, for sure. The scale is interesting because so far I don't feel like the towers feel big. Obviously, the art shows that they're really big, and they are towers. I think a lot of tower defense games, the towers don't feel big, do they? They feel more like beacons, I guess. But if that's a ship, I guess that's an area I haven't even fully decided on, is what is the true scale. Because there's obviously the concept art where they're pretty ginormous. There's not much there for reference, but they feel pretty big. I mean, there are windows there, so if you can imagine a person in there, that's going to be, you know, at least 20 stories high-ish. So if we're talking 15 stories high or so, then yeah, it's going to be taller than that ship would have been out on land. So if we do one of these... That's true. Gemcraft has little houses around. Let's see what kind of art they have in here. Some of these things are huge. Look at that. There's my tower. Good luck, demons. And I think part of what I was saying earlier is I want to scale down everything in the game a little bit. I think that seems like it feels a little too close up. So if the towers were actually this size, then if they're taller than that ship, the ship would have to be even smaller. Yeah, just throw a whole castle at them. A destroyed bridge would be cool too, yeah. I wonder if they have anything like that. Like, for the most part, I've been holding off on putting stuff into the scenes until gdevelop. That way I have just a blank canvas and I can place sprites in on top of it. But because right now what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of this And then from there, I'm just stuck with the screenshot unless I come back into Flowscape to modify and take a new screenshot. Yeah, it's annoying, right? I go to bed and I'm still thinking about stuff even if I try not to. What do y'all think about this? I mean, I know you've been following along. Do you feel like, in terms of the scale of the towers, so let's go back to the, I guess this level's fine. Let me just run it, see if it works still. It does not. I need to reboot the engine. It feels like it's a little too close up in your face. That's some of the feedback I've gotten, and I think I agree. Obviously, once y'all play it, you might have more feedback for me. So, like, really, you can't place that many towers around. I guess it's not too bad. But... oh, that's... look at those frames. My computer's not happy. Yeah, about 13 story buildings. And obviously, if the only stuff around are like either the flat landscape, liquid, or like boulders, then it stays vague. But if it's like these other maps that I have, like let's say this one, then there are trees and you can see exactly how big a tower would be, which is why I don't like this one anymore. Because if I run this level and I place a tower, which is the same size as you've been watching all along, it's actually, a tower would be smaller than this shack and it looks goofy, which is also part of why I'm trying not to put too many objects in the background art for now. Tiny towers. It's like the size of a lawnmower. Yeah, so like this was numero uno, right? And I've moved away from this style with all the trees for now. But rocks, flat landscape, and liquid seems to be safe. This one, I thought it was pretty. But again, my towers were coming in smaller than the trees. Now you've done it? You've done what? You done what now? Alright, so in this level, enemies come in on the water, so they could come in from technically top left, side left, and somewhere from the right. So it's almost like a three-way path, but kind of like a 2.5 path. That might work. And you could place towers here. Appreciate the hearts. You definitely made me think about scale. Well, it's something that I've needed to think about. I just haven't done anything because I haven't been making maps for a while now. But I need to get a handful of maps out there so that you all can play them. Which means I need to actually make some decisions. So yeah, it's that time. Let's see. Seems like towers further back here would be a little bit useless. So I might sculpt the sand back a little bit here. Let's take the sculptor and sink this area. And where does that put us? So we have a strip here. This one didn't really get affected. What's the spawn origin of the waves? How do they get to that place? Portal or ripple in the ground, etc. They generally come through the ground or through the elements, which is going to be kind of the lore explanation as to why some of them come up as fire enemies. So the basic enemies are just shadow, but some of them absorb or take on the elements through which they entered the world, which is why you might have frozen enemies, fire enemies, that kind of thing. That's kind of my excuse. So it's not really a portal. It's more like through the elements. Some of them don't take on the elements, but then the special ones do. Yeah, some of them do manifest from their surroundings. Exactly. So in your game, the standard sized item is 32 by 32, which is roughly a square foot. Yeah, that definitely works well. And most of my, like right now, my standard object sizes are about, I guess a medium-sized object in my game right now is about 90 by 90. And then small, for example, the small enemies are 50 by 50. So that's been sort of my frame of reference. All right. All right, maybe, what do we think about this? We can do other ones as well, but I think this will... So the enemies can come in from anywhere on the left, anywhere on the right. But it's really going to be two general directions. Towers placed along this peninsula and then this island here. So yeah, got to get to those tests. Yeah, speedruns are going to be months in his game. Yeah, I think the water was a good idea. I haven't played around with it here in this system yet. It's a good idea, Travis. Is Blaze the pixel art guy? Yeah, he's pretty good with it. He's good with Blender too. All right, have a good night, Travis. Catch you later, man. Have a good weekend. Yeah, Blaze is pretty good. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, he's decent with a variety of different arts, from what I can tell. He's made a few Blender assets for me. He did a font, and I don't think he's actually given me pixel art. I think I've just taken his good art and I scaled it so far down that it turned into pixel art on accident. So that was like unintentional. I'm going to go ahead and save this right here. And, you know, honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here as well. So let's take a quick look at what we've gotten here. So this one, of course. And then, yeah, just two more lava levels. So the one from the day before is this one. Then we started with this one this evening. So it's a 4-way. Then this one, which is kind of a weird 3-way, but it's more open and less land to build on. And then finally the beach one. You were thinking of showing him your tile sheet for feedback. Go for it. Put it in the share your work or general, doesn't matter. I'm sure he'll be glad to take a look. You said that's the wrong one. Yeah, some pretty good levels. I think kind of getting an idea of how I want to do the pathing, and between the level design and then also the path showing that you had the idea for yesterday, I think it's going to be all right. The players are going to know where the enemies are coming from and where they can build towers versus not. Point and click is another one to try. Are you talking about like a game mechanic? Yeah, for sure. So, all right. I think we're going to escape reality. We're going to go back to reality. And Lost in Code, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great weekend yourself. And if you decide to get into that game jam, definitely let us know. And I'm pretty sure they would allow teams. So if you need any help, you can let us know as well. Yep, have a good night, and everyone, thanks so much for watching, and whatever you're working on, I certainly hope that you have fewer bugs than I do, so thanks.